Good afternoon, and welcome to the Capital Investment Committee meeting of August 27th. First on agenda is the roll call. Alderman Blanton.
Here.
Alderman Baggett.
Yes,
Alderman
here.
Potts is absent, and Chair is here. Thank you. Setting the agenda, or is there any changes to the agenda? May I have a motion? Set the agenda.
Motion to set the agenda.
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Alderman Blanton.
Yes.
Alderman Baggett.
Yes.
And Chair votes yes. All right, thank you very much. I need approval of minutes, consideration approval of minutes from June 25th, 2026 Capital Investment Committee.
Motion to approve.
Second?
All right. Alderman Blanton, how do you vote?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Baggett?
Yes.
And Chair votes yes. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to go to new business, and item is number 3, consideration of ordinance 2026-23. 2026-23. An ordinance to reduce the speed limit on all public roadways in Maplewood subdivision to 25 miles an hour.
20.
Mr. Holzen, or 20, is it 20?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, sorry, that is 20. Thank you.
This is a request that came through the HOA. They even did a petition, and
Thank you.
we're in full support of what the subdivision is requesting. Minimal cost, we just have to change out the speed limit signs.
What is it currently?
25 miles an hour.
You're going down 5.
Motion to approve. I have grandchildren in that subdivision.
Second?
All right, any discussion? All right, all in favor? Alderman Blanton?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Baggett?
Yes.
And Chair votes yes. All right, moving on to number 4, consideration of resolution 2026-63, a resolution authorizing the execution of the City of Franklin contract number 2026-0191 with Capital City Construction Services, LLC, in the amount of $1,580,014.22 for the Del Rio Pike roadway widening and culvert improvement project. Mr. Holzen.
We had numerous bids on this project. We are recommending approval. It will be a full road closure. We have done a lot of coordination with Franklin Special School District, and will continue to do so. Luckily, their boundary line is right there, so it doesn't have a major impact on them. But we anticipate it being a 6-month contract, and we are recommending approval. And this fixes the culvert where there's a major safety issue right now. There's about 11 to 15 foot drop off and 9 foot lanes. And so this is a needed improvement for safety purposes. Happy to answer any questions that you have.
Do I have a motion?
Second?
All right. Second by Vice Mayor Baggett. Any questions?
This road has been closed before for a great length of time, so while it's unfortunate, I'm sure they will survive it for the outcome.
And currently, there is no guardrail there or anything?
There is no guardrail. There's no ability to add guardrail to the existing
Okay.
road, and this is really the only option that we have.
And
We are widening it to its ultimate 3-lane section, just through the culvert, and then we're ending it because it wasn't we're doing it for safety purposes, not because the board chose to fund
right.
this section of Del Rio.
And I'm sorry, did I not see that? When do you plan to start the work?
It'll probably be about 2 months before we can fully mobilize a contractor out there. So once you approve this, we'll have a pre-construction meeting and negotiate and agree on a start time frame with the contractor.
Will the weather be a factor for any paving or anything around there?
No, we'll talk that through at the pre-construction meeting and make sure that it's not closed for a period of time where there's no work going on. So that'll be part of the discussion we have with the contractor at the pre-con.
Okay, got it. All right, all in favor, Alderman Blanton?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Baggett?
Yes.
And the Chair votes yes. Number 5, consideration of draft resolution 2026-68, a resolution declaring certain right-of-way located at the end of Buckworth Avenue between 1010 and 1011 Buckworth Avenue as surplus. Mr. Holzen.
This is that is not what I wanted to do. Let's see if I can. Okay, so this is a very random piece of right-of-way that was platted. There is no use or long-term use to the city of Franklin. The property owners have agreed on how it gets abandoned. And so the property owner will be required to do a survey, and then from that survey, we'll be able to deed it over to them and put it back on the
Would you explain where
tax
this
roll.
is
Off Boyd
located?
Mill Avenue.
Yeah, just for the TV.
Buckworth is a small street off of Boyd Mill Avenue, and this piece of right-of-way has no use or purpose to the city.
It's directly across from the Magnolia Hall, which is
Yeah.
being developed. Kind of in between there and
People are
Glass
listening.
Lane.
I want to make sure they know where this is.
Move for approval?
All right.
Second,
Okay, any other discussion? All right, Alderman Blanton?
yes.
And Vice Mayor Beckett?
Yes.
The chair votes yes. All right, passes 3-0. Number 6, consideration amendment 2 to City of Franklin contract number 2018-042, a professional service agreement with Barge Design Solutions Incorporated for the Columbia Avenue widening and improvement project, TDOT pin number 12145.00. I thought I better read that one. Mr. Holson, back to you.
So we're currently acquiring right-of-way, and they're moving very efficiently with that. Some of the appraisals as they come in are assessing a lot of damages to the properties. And so working with the appraiser, we're trying to limit the damages. For example, if we're taking out 5 or 6 parking spaces, we're trying to find solutions and change up the design slightly to not damage their parking. And so the consultant's having to make multiple plan revisions as these appraisals come in to try to reduce the damages to the property that we have to pay. And the other item is some of the design software is outdated and no longer supported. Unfortunately, this is happening across the state of Tennessee, and so we have to upgrade the version of CAD that they're using in software, which there's a cost to try to convert that. It's unfortunate, but there's really not an option. It's a software that's no longer being supported, essentially. We do recommend approval. I apologize. The amount should have been in the
I was gonna
title,
say,
and
is
I'm
there-
going to add it. It is for $694,723. So it is a lot, but we believe that there's a significant amount of savings that we're having as we try to modify the design to reduce damages on some of the properties.
You said 649,000 what?
$694,723.
Motion to approve.
Okay.
Second?
Any other discussion? Alderman Blanton?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Baggett?
Yes.
And chair votes yes. All right, thank you. Number 7, consideration of change order 1 of the City of Franklin contract 2026-0178 with Jones Brothers Contractors LLC for the construction of the South Royal Oaks Boulevard Court intersection improvements at State Route 397 Matt Hatcher Memorial Parkway for an increase of $59,764.82.
The board had expressed interest in adding pedestrian push buttons at this location because of the YMCA, the subdivisions that surround this area. The good news is we do not have to replace the cabinet. We originally thought this would be about a $400,000 upgrade, but since the signal techs were able to reuse the existing cabinet out there, it's limited to about $59,000. And so we're recommending approval if the board would like to add the
And-
pedestrian.
All right, and I'll take a motion and then I
Move for
think,
approval?
Second.
all right, and Ned, you wanted to speak? Ned Danberg would like to speak to this issue? I'll ask
Yeah,
you to
just
come.
Ned Dannenberg with Bike Walk Franklin. Obviously, speaking in support of this, amendment, we certainly appreciate the attention the board has given to this. And with the project now, I think north of $1 million, I think a $60,000 commitment for folks walking and biking in this area is definitely worth it. So thank you for your consideration.
Okay. All right, any other discussion? All right, Alderman Blanton, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Vice Mayor Beckett?
Yes.
And chair votes yes. All right, thank you. Consideration of City of Franklin contract number 2026-0337 with Windstream KDL Incorporated for right-of-way use agreement. Paul?
This is just a right-of-way use agreement that outlines responsibilities of them putting their infrastructure in the right-of-way. It's really a renewal of what they had last time it expired, and this just updates that agreement slightly. We would recommend approval.
Move for approval?
Second.
Any discussion? All right, Alderman Blanton?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Baggett?
Yes.
And chair votes yes. All right, thank you. Number 9, consideration of draft City of Franklin contract number 2026-0355, the utility relocation agreement with Middle Tennessee Electric Membership Corporation for the Old Paintonsville Road and Long Lane Bridge and Connector Project in the estimate of amount of $173,889.26.
This is a utility relocation contract. It's essentially determined by the number of poles in the right-of-way versus that are on private property. Ultimately, we would have to reimburse the percentage that are on private property back to Middle Tennessee Electric. This is the estimate. Ultimately, they bill us for the actual cost, and we would recommend approval.
Motion to
Second.
approve. I figured it was my turn. Sorry.
Second?
You got the second. Brandy has the
That's
second. Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, Alderman Blanton?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Baggett?
Yes.
And Chair votes yes. All right. Number 10, consideration of draft resolution 2026-78, a resolution to grant sewer availability for 4027 Clovercroft Road.
Yeah, this is a request
Brian?
for a county resident on Clovercroft Road. There's a sewer main that runs in front of the parcel. Currently, it's an interceptor. Easements were dedicated in the past about that interceptor. They're asking for 2 SFUEs to connect to the sewer system.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second, okay.
I've got a question.
Running out of time. Mr. Mayor?
Morgan's property.
No, this is Michael Moody's property, right down from Morgan's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got
Next.
Mr. Morgan taken
Yeah,
care
we've
of.
got Mr. Morgan taken care of.
Good, thank you.
Okay, it's right down.
They don't have to, we're not, what's the annexation requirement?
They got to sign an annexation agreement,
Same.
basically that we get from law, the templates, and he'll execute all those if the board grants the right for him to connect.
And the annexation would take place at the city's request.
At the
The city's
request,
request. You would
correct.
decide if that makes sense in the future to bring the property in. And that's a pretty standard agreement we do in exchange for granting the availability.
It's a pretty large parcel that is
It's
a lot of
right.
road frontage.
It
So
is.
this would be one of those sections that's in the county now, I would guess.
It is.
Yes.
Or the road section is.
It
So,
is. Mm-hmm. It is. Do you have any other comments on it? All right. No other comments, questions? All right. Alderman Blanton?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Baggett?
yes.
And Chair votes yes. All right, thank you, Brian. Consideration, number 11, consideration of final change order for City of Franklin, contract number 2024-0105, with civil contractors for the Southeast Park Water Line Extension for an increase of 36 calendar days and a decrease of $415,181 with
Yeah.
70 cents.
Yes, this is an extension of the 12-inch ductile iron line, ductile iron pipe from Long Lane to feed the Southeast Park, Pearl Park, and the future clean water facility. Project came under $400,000 under the estimated bid, so it's in, installed, and ready to connect to.
Decrease, we like that.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Any comments? So we like that decrease. All right, Alderman Blanton?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Baggett?
Yes.
And Chair votes yes. Number 12, consideration of Amendment 2, City of Contract Number 2025-0086 with Gresham Smith for the water treatment plant improvements, new hydraulic acid building in the amount of $199,836.
Yes, this would be an amendment to allow for construction services for the construction of that acid building that was approved. So they've gone through design. We delayed on construction RPR services, but we've got it designed, getting it through TDEC and ready to start that project. But there's so many disciplines with that project as far as electrical, mechanical, and those type items that we feel like we need them present to review the submittals and any kind of RFIs and come and do some on-site inspection while it's being constructed.
Have a motion?
Move for approval?
Second.
All right, any other discussion? All right, Alderman Blanton?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Baggett?
Yes.
And Chair votes yes. All All right, thank you. Number 13, consideration of change order 4 for the City of Franklin contract 2025-0174 with Garney Construction for the Ewingville Drive emergency 48-inch FRP repair project for an increase of 30 calendar days.
Correct. The project is complete. It's substantially complete. We have sanitary sewer flow going through the pipe. It's been reinstated. Bypass moving has been removed. They're doing some clean out at the location now. It's just a time frame extension where some of this summer weather kind of delayed them a little bit. And we did add footage to the project from the beginning that we decided couldn't be lined, and it replaced it with ductile iron pipe.
All right,
Move for approval?
Second.
any discussion on this? All right, Alderman Blanton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Baggett?
Yes.
And Chair votes yes. All right, moving to item 14, consideration of Amendment 1 of City of Franklin Contract 2025-0251 with C&T Engineering and Inspection for the Ewingville 48-inch FRP emergency repair in the amount of $59,210.
Okay. Yes, C&T Engineering are the ones that provide the inspection for the new pipe installation and looking at the Hobos collapse and some of the issues we had with it. Their original contract was for a 27-week duration. It actually ran to 51 weeks. So this change order is to compensate them for that additional time overrun for what they had in their original contract.
Motion to approve.
Second?
So are we asking for an extension on this?
No, it's just a cost change.
Oh, just the cost, okay. I didn't see that, so I thought I'd better ask. All right, any other discussion? Alderman Blanton?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Baggett?
Yes.
And Chair votes yes. All right, we are moving to number 15, capital project dashboard and status update for August 2026. Mr. Paul Holzen, you're up.
I got to go on a tour today. Southeast Park, Pearl Park is moving great.
Conduit's in.
They're putting in some curbing, and they're focusing on heavy grading operations and infrastructure. Robinson Lake, same position. It's supposed to be done this fall. They got the curbing in. That looks like they're getting ready to start putting down asphalt soon, which is great progress. They have the wetland boardwalk is installed, and it looks great. So the project continues to progress well. And McEwen's still on track, and Vulcan's doing an awesome job out there. They're hopeful to switch traffic over. They're focusing on building a temporary road, which will be converted to the trail. We're hopeful this fall time that they will be able to make that conversion, and we'll shift traffic to the temporary road, which allows us to build the westbound lanes. So they're on track, and again, they're moving. They're making a lot of progress on that project. So
Yeah.
happy to answer any questions if there are any others out there about other projects.
Go ahead.
I had a constituent reach out on Hillsborough and Mac Hatcher.
It is out to bid right now.
I did see that on the
sorry.
last report. So
Did not mention that.
27
It is out to bid. It's it's probably 27 springtime.
early spring.
We're going to direct them to do Hillsborough Road intersection first as a priority. Obviously, you can't pave in the winter months, and so that'll be our challenge. And then they'll move to get that project done. And I'm also preparing a letter or a board memo to have a discussion as to whether the board wants to include Del Rio and Mac Hatcher as well. We believe it can be worked into the budget, but we'll be bringing that forward to the full board for a discussion. We're afraid that we might be just pushing the traffic jam from Hillsborough to Del Rio. And so we've developed an option for fairly inexpensively and within the money you've allocated that would give you the ability to include Del Rio and Mac Hatcher if that's something the board wants to do. But that'll be coming to the full board as soon as we can get the memo and cost estimated finalized.
Good news.
Is that would that slow down the other one though?
What's that?
Would that slow?
No, it would have no impact.
No impact.
Zero impact on the Hillsborough Mac Hatcher project.
All right. Yeah, I've had a lot of great comments about Vulcan, and a lot of people tell me, hey, they were really moving. So, you know, a lot of times you go, well, is anything being done? No, they're constantly, and people notice that. So I've had a lot of great comments. And two of the ladies over there still bake banana bread and take to the workers. So they're taking care of them all over there.
Good.
They really have been stellar. So it's been great.
One item I'd add is we get a lot of questions about Lewisburg, and I talked with our project manager, Allison, today. What they're working on now is the overhead. We don't want to close the road while they're doing the overhead
Oh, yeah.
relocations. And as soon as they get that overhead relocated, there'll be that closure will start. There'll be 7 days notice to our traffic operations center. You'll see message boards go up that warn motorists. It will be quite disruptive to have that road closed for a year, but
Oh, wow.
and I drive it every day, so I will be impacted as well. But we will make sure to do a lot of notice to the surrounding residents
It's-
in anticipation of that.
But, and tell us online what section that is again.
So Lewisburg at the CSX tracks will be closed for a period of 1 year from about Stewart Street down to Thompson Alley.
Thompson Alley. Okay.
But again, right now, we don't want to close it now because they're just moving the overhead power. As soon as that's out of the way is probably when you'll see the closure actually happen and construction start, but there'll be a lot of advance notice.
A lot of stuff going on. All right, and the only other thing I had was, so is the Matt Catcher Royal Oaks all completed?
So
That
they're getting,
improvement?
the TDOT portion of the project is complete. Now it's up to us to add the additional turn lanes on Royal Oaks and Royal Oaks Court,
When will that happen?
and it's actually already started. They've put up their erosion control.
Oh,
They're getting ready to start
Good.
clearing and grubbing if they haven't done it already. But they're moving forward and they're anticipating having that done before paving season closes.
oh, good. That'd be
So
great.
we're
All right.
excited they're
And
motivated.
then the only other thing I want to mention is next month's meeting on the 24th, we're going to be having a discussion on Clovercroft. And we're hoping Mayor Marshall will be here as well, but we are going to really concentrate on more of the aspects of the shoulders and the curves that need to be adjusted there. And by the way, just FYI, if anybody's listening at home, there were some stats given at our board meeting the other night about accidents and fatalities on Clovercroft, which was incorrect. So I just want to go on record saying that if anybody's listening to this, since we are CIC, that those numbers will be released later, and they were incorrect.
The correct numbers will be released later.
Oh, they're correct, yeah. Yeah, would you like to? Sure, that'd be great.
We pulled some data from the AASHTO database. It's called AASHTOware, which is a national database that collects traffic, or basically crash and fatality data. And so we asked for information from that. Our traffic engineering team looked at that and found on Clovercroft Road between 96 East, Murfreesboro Road, to Wilson Pike, in the last 5 years, there have been 38 crashes, 0 fatalities, and 2 serious injuries. In the last 10 years, there have been 99 crashes with 1 fatality and 3 serious injuries. So significantly less than the numbers that were given on Tuesday night. I don't know where those came from. I've reached out to the citizen who provided those to share this information, and we'll see. But that should be a definitive source for information. And so just those are the real numbers
And
as we know them.
I would say too that crashes include fender benders, they include any kind of small, when you hear the word crash, doesn't mean that.
Yeah, it can be anything.
It's anything.
that gets reported. That's why we differentiate with anything that has serious injuries, that would be a more significant crash.
Yeah.
And you had 2 in the 5-year window and 3 in the 10-year window in terms of
And
something
we've
that
had
generated
some
significant.
rear end, someone started up from a stoplight and someone went into that. So those are all counted as crashes. So it's not like, oh my gosh, this is like major. It's been some very minor ones as well, so.
What I understand is the biggest differentiator was fatalities.
Yeah.
So-
Huge.
There's a
Yes.
huge number cited that would.
Yes.
We knew that
Very
last
concerning.
night,
So,
or
yes.
on Tuesday, but rather than
And
speak
this,
out on it.
we'll have some of this data and other kind of background to help set the context for that discussion about Clovercroft, improvements that have been made over the years too, and how those have translated into impacting this type of information.
I will
too.
say, since I've been elected, or actually way back since 2000, there's been 2 fatalities altogether since 2000, so that's 26 years. And one of those was through that intersection at Oxford Glen and Clovecroft before we got up the traffic light. And that has made all the difference in the world, having that traffic light up. That's a huge safety factor. Plus, we put in turn signal there as well now on the traffic light, which has helped immensely.
Yep.
So anyway, we got that. All right, thanks, Eric. Appreciate it. Any other business?
Motion to
All
adjourn.
right. Second. I guess. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're done. Thank you.